Hi Thomas, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm good. Had a good night's sleep. I came back very late, but here we are. I'm now fresh, ready to go to my workshop. So,
Excellent. And where are you working this week?
Dubai, it is. In fact, I'm here in the hotel room, 27th floor. So I could actually show you a bit of, well, some of you know, some of you don't, but that's basically from the river to the highest tower in the world. In the back there, it's 856 meters. Cetera,
Wow.
cetera. There's a 16-lane street, 8 lanes in both directions, and it's busy 24/7. So there we go. Dubai it is. It's a senior
Fantastic.
leadership workshop, and I'm ready to rock and roll in an hour
Excellent.
from now. So it's good.
Okay, we've got 5 questions this week that have come in. We'll start with Stephen from Vancouver. He says, does it make sense to apply for the GVL masterclass even if he likes his job?
All right. Okay. So first of all, hi, Stephen. Nice for this. It's a nice question. And of course, we would be delighted to have you in a masterclass because we don't want to have this picture that is only for people who dislike their job. It's a great question. So of course, our focus is discover your talents, become fully engaged at work, and as a result, remarkable. So if you say you really like your job, you might already be there. You might be really liking your job. You might be fully engaged. Question still is there room for improvement? Have you discovered all your talents? And even if you have, what is the next level for you then? You know, it's really this. I believe in lifelong learning. This is also why the masterclass philosophy is not like, okay, 4 weeks masterclass, done and dusted. There's an option for people to re-enter, to reach higher levels. So it's a little bit like this Japanese Kaizen, you know, lifelong learning, every day some improvement. So I would say yes. If you like your job, that's fantastic. Bring your energy into the club, search for your next level, and rub shoulders with other people that are not as fortunate as you are. You know, they're not that happy in their job. So yeah, that is what my answer would be.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. The next question is from Nicole in Utah. She says, what's the balance in the GVL masterclass between peer group assignments and individual work, and where she focuses her personal goals?
Okay, that is interesting. What's the balance between? So is it more individual? Is it more group work? What's the balance? First of all, it's for you to decide what you want to even focus more on. But what we have here, we don't have input where we say, okay, guys, this is a Sunday 6-hour session. Here's the assignment. Do something like create a campaign. This is a project, and see how you work together as a project. And then, yes, it is a learning project, but it's not really meaningful. It's given to the group. That's not what we do in the Global Village Leaders Masterclass. What we would like to do is everyone is searching for their talents, their strengths, what gives them the most energy, individually and collaboratively as a group. And everyone is really trying to find all the different angles, how to become more engaged at work, what could the ideal working environment look like. So although people work individually, everyone is aligned on the same focus, on the same direction. So therefore, I would say the balance between group work and individual work is, let's say, 50-50, but the group work helps you to move forward with your personal ambitions, creating the best future you can create for yourself in your work and in your life as a whole. So it's really this, you know, we don't distract with tasks that have nothing to do with the overall mission, and the group helps each other to get there.
Okay.
I hope
Thanks
that answered the question.
Thank you. This question here is from a gentleman in Bangkok. He says, what's the criteria for selecting the peer groups of the masterclasses?
Okay, ideally diversity, because what we would like to see is different cultures, different age groups, people from different walks of life. And once we come to the preferred thinking analysis, then of course it's a whole different game, because diversity starts in our head. It's not the gender, the skin color, the nationality, the language you speak, that comes on top of it. So ideally also there, we have people that are really into analysis. We have people that are more process driven and practical. We've got creative guys and girls, and we have people that look after harmony and the people factor. So diversity. And we can already see from the way people fill out the application what type of persons they are. So we would like a nice spread. The other criteria might be interesting. It's not all about harmony. You know, it's not all about, oh, that is a nice group. I think they really get on well with each other. Sometimes it's also interesting that someone is kind of provoking you or maybe slightly irritating you because they show you something that you have to work on. So, and diversity basically guarantees that. We aim for diverse groups, and that will be the criteria.
Okay, great. Thank you, Thomas. This question's from Miriam in Rotterdam. She says she's a single mum working from home with very young children. Is it still possible to join a masterclass?
Okay. Hi, Miriam. In Holland, my heart goes out to you because it's an exciting time. I think my daughters are now both above 20 years old, so long time then since they were small. So basically, is it possible? Well, that's down to you. And that's also down to your peers a little bit. Ideally, in the 3 hours on a Tuesday night, 3 hours Thursday night, and 2 times 3 hours on a Sunday, there is undivided attention to the group. So the question is, can you make sure that in those time windows, someone can look after the small kids? If that's a yes, then there is no obstacle. If it's a no, the question is, how old are the kids and how disciplined are they playing 3 hours on their own somewhere near you so you can supervise and be in the session? But this is what I like about the Global Village Leaders Club. It's not a formal office setting. You can be in your own 4 walls, and that shows who you are. So for example, if you say to the peers, look, I have to look after the kids and my babysitter didn't come up, or I don't even have one, you can mute and unmute. So for example, if there's a silence atmosphere in your house, you can have it on the microphone on, you can talk, whatever. If all of a sudden things get a bit noisy, you can just unmute, or you can say, guys, give me 10 minutes, I'm back. It's what you make out of it. The beauty is that we can say, yes, you can work as a single mom working from home, looking after your kids, and you can do 12 hours a week times 4, 50 hours of learning, online learning, and develop through the Global Village Leaders Class. It's possible. Everyone has to adjust with their circumstances. Same thing, like some people fly, they say, I can't join the session, I come 2 hours later, or I'm in the airport, I can only catch you there. And does it forbid for them being in the session? No, it doesn't. Yeah? It's not mandatory, but of course you let the group down when you're not there all the time. And if there's noisy kids in the background all the time, you will also let the group down. But volume can be managed, as I said. Yeah. And if the microphone is on mute, you can still chat. So there's possibilities. So I would say, yes, give it a go.
Okay, thanks, Thomas. The final question is from Carsten in Munich. What if he finds out that the masterclass is not for him?
Okay. Well, first of all, it's worth a try. Go for it and see whether that's the case. And in my opinion, it can't be, because if it isn't for you, it would mean that the focus of the class is on stuff that you are not interested in. Now, how can that be? We explore your talents, we explore your strengths, we explore what gives you energy. We look at your brain profile, we look at your emotional intelligence profile, we look at your current circumstances at work and how you need to shape your environment so that you actually become fully engaged. So it's all about you. So how can it be that you say, this is not for me? It would only be the case if the class works through material that you are not connected with, that doesn't give you value. But you are in the driver's seat here. It's very important. Although our coaches are live in each session, they are not in the driver's seat. They are not the trainers, the facilitators, the mentors. They are there to help the group move it forward. If the group is stuck, they come in, they basically interfere in the conversation and say, you know, I can see there's no right flow, what is happening, what could make it flow. When it flows, they step back. Every hour or so, there is a cut because you get a reflection on your management and leadership styles, because also one task is you take over the group as one of the peers and be a manager for an hour, and then you get feedback on your leadership style. So even that is completely focusing on you. So in my opinion, it's almost impossible for someone to be in a class and say, this isn't for me, unless you don't want to look in the mirror. You don't want to grow. You don't want to, you know, think about yourself, but then you wouldn't join in the first place. So I think you can tick that one off and have no fear in that area of your thinking.
Great, thanks Thomas, and thanks for sharing those answers with us.
Okay.
Have a great rest of the trip.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Catherine. Have a good week as well, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Click on the link to fill out the application. It's your chance to get on the waiting list and possibly accepted. There is no commitment at this stage. It's a selection process of carefully matched peer groups. Don't forget to subscribe to our email circle. The application has great questions, like a free mini coaching session how to discover your talents to become fully engaged and remarkable. Once accepted, you have 48 hours to commit or step aside from the waiting list.